Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and today I have another fun little project that you can do before you throw your magazines into the recycling bin. I went through a few of my older magazines the other day and I decided to make some tabs. Now tabs are a fun thing to use when you're junk journaling. You have all these fun little sticky outy bits, and in this journal I've used fabric and all sorts of fun things, but tabs just create a really interesting edge. They're also fabulous to use for journaling cards or making tags instead of ribbon, especially if you're worried about journals getting a bit too chunky. Using a paper tab instead of a ribbon can be a great thing to do. And all you need is to grab a magazine and start looking at things a little bit differently. So you've cut out all your pretty pictures, but then there are edges and things. For example, this was part of a piece of art on a wall, but what a great tab that would make. You can use obviously plain colors. You can use this one. It's a little bit hard to see, but it has like a suede look to it. This one's variants of blues. A little bit of a stone wall could make a great tab. This one could be fun. You could cut it and include both colors. Any sort of pattern can make an interesting tab, and I'll show you the ones that I made. Now, I don't have any tab punches to make these fabulous things with, but I do have die cuts. So I just got my die cutting machine out, and you can then cut all sorts of interesting shapes. If you have a punch, fabulous, use them. But I don't, but thankfully die cuts to the rescue. And just to show you some of the things that I sort of looked for example, this was printed on the page. So I positioned my die cut with the best size that would allow me to have that little flower. I looked for interesting scripts to use for that one. This one here, I managed to get it, the word summer, I managed to use my bigger die cut there and save that word. I then also made some and used my little mini punches to create shapes. And that way, for example, like when you put them, say, on a journal card or a page, you'll get a bit of a sneak peek. I thought that was a fun idea. I also got some stamps out. Now, you will notice that some of these are not actual tabs. I made a few hearts and circles because, again, it doesn't have to be an official tab shape. Here I made one in this journal. That's just a circle. And a heart, for example, if this one wasn't there, you could use a heart. And then, of course, you just need a second one on the other side. Now, of course, on magazines, you may have all sorts of yucky things on the back, but of course, that doesn't matter. You're only going to see the front side. By the time you glue two together, all you'll see is the pretty bits. And if your magazine paper is quite thin, you can always make two, glue them together, and that will help make them more robust. See how simple this is? Now, if you don't have any die cuts or tab punches, you can make an interesting looking tab. And all you need is a piece of magazine, which you will fold in half, and then you can simply cut some corners on it with your corner rounder. And even if you don't have a corner rounder, you can cut it by hand. But this alone can make an interesting looking tab for your journal or a journal card. So see how easy this is, and have a look. I mean, I got so many interesting ones. Look, I love this one here, managed to get, it's like some blue glitter. This one here was actually part of a shirt, but no one needs to know that's a shirt. You just have to look at the pages and just focus on a pattern or colour. See, here's another one. This was a big piece of artwork, and it was on a wall in a housey magazine. But have a look how cool that is. So all you need to do is go through your magazines, give them one last flip before you throw them in the bin. And of course, as I said, add some stamping. Plain coloured ones become something really pretty when you add a bit of stamping. And this one I use some gold. This one I use like a sort of a goldy coppery colour. Flowers, and they're free. Oh, this is actually one of my favourites, these ones here. This was an abstract painting. Now, there's a couple of these. I wonder where, see, have a look at those. Don't they make the most fabulous looking tabs? And then, of course, if you want things vintage style, now, this one here has quite a vintage look to it. But if you wanted a vintage look, you could just spray some of these with coffee and let them dry, especially if you pick, you know, nice neutral things. Like this here was, this was like a stone wall in the distance. But how cool is it? So there you go. Open your eyes, have a look at ads and advertorials. That's where you'll find the best things. You don't need pretty pictures other than a bit of wall art, and you can make yourself a ton of tabs. I bought my dies off AliExpress. I've got a couple of sets, and then you end up with all sorts of fabulous tabs that you can use in your journals. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments box below. But this is a great little rainy day project when you just can't decide what to make. Turn your magazines into some fabulous, unique tabs. And that way, when you can't find one in the colour you want, you can probably find it in a magazine. So hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye for now.